Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
2. Nails and bells. What's going on, babies? We're coming back to y'all on a Wednesday. I got my tag team partners, JD Man Up and Joey. Good evening to you, gentlemen.
What's up?
Yeah, I'm appreciating Man Up with the show branding on the chest this evening. I appreciate it. Funny story as it was coming on. If you all haven't noticed, I've been growing out my caveman stuff right here, and my brother from another mother who has an impeccable freaking beard. I'm of course talking about Man Up. I asked the man a simple question. I said, "What kind of products do you use for your beard?" The stuff that he showed me cost more than the championship budget you see in my background here. I'm just saying.
Worth every penny, my brother. Worth every penny. Looking tight, Man Up. Looking tight.
Goodness gracious. Welcome to the monthly melee, everybody.
He asked.
I did ask, man. I didn't want to pay a mortgage payment for my beard.
Whatever. I'll do what I want.
Time to go on Amazon.
I'm just saying. Welcome to the monthly melee, everybody. We got some good stuff coming your way this evening. We appreciate you guys who are watching us on YouTube, in the Bells of Belts group and in Champions Belt Club. We appreciate you all watching. JD, what do we got on tap tonight, brother?
Well, my brother, we are on our monthly melee. This is the episode every month where we delve into the current news in professional wrestling, delve a little bit into the wrestling of yesterday. Always, of course, have our quiz, and we feature our belt of the month.
Okay, sounds good. With that being said, to quote Man Up.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, exactly. We are underway. JD, floor is yours.
All right, it's on like Donkey Kong. All right.
We had a little bit of stuff going on in the wrestling world, man. I'm telling you, goodness gracious, what in the world can we talk about in the dirt sheets now, JD?
Well, what's interesting that's happened recently? You think of anything?
There's only one thing to talk about.
Oh my God.
That's the return of the legend himself, R-Truth.
Yes, right.
That's right.
Absolutely, yes. Let's dive into this real quick. The man's been off of TV for a little bit, and to our surprise, he came back at freaking Survivor Series. That was freaking epic, man. Mm-hmm. And I love the back and forth. I think they had on freaking what they had at freaking Raw with Jelly Rolls and with Jelly Rolls.
I'm just glad the Jelly Rolls got some airtime finally.
Oh my gosh, dude. Freaking Jelly Rolls. I'm telling you.
Don't sleep on the Jelly Rolls.
We're going to get that freaking trending, man. Hey, I love a good jelly anything. And put a plate of fucking Jelly Rolls. Hey, didn't it have powdered sugar right on the top of it, too?
Powdered sugar.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
It looked like an episode of the NWA. It was pretty impressive.
I love it, man. Man, Joey didn't watch, but he freaking popped, man. You all should have saw the freaking group.
And guess what? He still hasn't aged. Not one
He
day.
still has an ace. Oh my God,
Yes,
JD! If you literally have the picture of him in WWF the first time, and now it's no freaking difference. It really isn't. It's crazy.
No,
Yes.
he's timeless. Timeless.
Oh,
Him
my
and
God.
Billy Gunn, I swear.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
All joking aside, of
Yeah.
course, the big news was the return of Mr.
Randy Orton, yes,
Orton.
absolutely,
Randy
man.
Orton
Yes,
was
Randy Orton. Of course, he was the surprise entrant for the not really a surprise entrant. They teased it on Raw. And something I'm gonna go to Joey here because in our group chat, hey, I need y'all to prepare yourselves for this. Joey actually had a compliment for WWE, didn't you, Joey?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because they didn't.
Oh my God! Exactly.
Well, yeah, it's because they didn't have him come out on Raw, and that's very, it's something WWE would do is just blow the whole thing right then and have him come out there and mix it up, and it's like that's pointless. The best thing in the world was making people wait until Survivor Series to get that moment. And then, of course, they gave it away verbally, but then at the pay-per-view, they kind of teased that he wasn't coming out. And then they gave it to you. So that was well done. I mean, a year and a half the man was away, and you wonder what he's got left to do. And I can only imagine at this point that Randy's probably going to be very part-time and, not abusing his body anymore at his age and everything. But yeah, man came back in fantastic shape, as you can see. And
yeah, I mean, he put a lot of size on his arms and shoulders and traps. So he put some bulk on. So
yeah. Man, this is one of your guys right here, ain't it?
Oh yeah, I told Joey this one time when me and him was talking. I said, you know what? I'm gonna put all my feelings to the side. I'm gonna watch Survivor Series for Randy Orton.
Okay.
I'm a huge Randy Orton fan.
You watched the whole show for Randy Orton, knowing he was gonna come out dead last.
No, I didn't watch the whole thing. I didn't watch the whole thing. I waited till the next day, Sunday.
Oh, you just fast forward.
Yeah.
Generics in the house. I'm just gonna queue up a few comments here. We got some Facebook user. Hey guys.
I'm sure Nesha's one of those.
Nesh might be one of those people. Somebody wants us to talk about CM Punk. We're getting there, I promise.
Ooh.
My man Truth is back. Punk outshined Orton's return. Sad.
I wouldn't say that.
Sadly. So I'm going to piggyback off what Joey was saying, and I think this was one of the smarter bookings on the WWE's part in recent months, if not years. They put Orton's name in the mix for the pay-per-view. They more or less guaranteed he'd be there. That brought people to the pay-per-view, and then they upped the ante with Punk's return at the end of the show. So they made sure that they didn't have to drop hints about Punk. They didn't have to spoil that. They let that be its own moment. And Randy's return sort of put the eyes on product to sort of make sure that was as big as it was. I don't think as many people would have even been watching it if they hadn't leaked Randy's return beforehand. Okay. So I think it was really smart
I was just going to say that too because it was rumored, and I'm putting that in quotes. It was rumored that they want. It was rumored that they were going to let Punk be a surprise entry into the Royal Rumble, but they didn't think they would be able to keep that secret long enough, so they just said forget it.
Yep.
So, which I think was pretty decent. But I do kind of think they should have let Randy Orton have his moment and then CM Punk. But hey.
Nesh is asking, how can she fix this so that she shows up?
StreamYard.com/Facebook.
There you go.
Or just
so if you click on that link, Nesh, it should take you through the steps. You just got to click on a few things, and it should let us see your Facebook profile.
It's probably a re-authentication type thing. Because
I'll go ahead and say this too. As much as I just gave them a compliment, I'm gonna give them. I'm gonna stick it in the sandwich here.
Okay.
The pay-per-view was awful overall. Sorry, it was. And from what I've saw, like if you look at the card without Randy Orton and without CM Punk, that was not a good Survivor Series card. Where are the Survivor Series matches?
I don't know. We may have to
And
go back
now
to the
they
time
do-
machine. There, JD. When last time they had a traditional Survivor Series match at Survivor Series, we'll give JD a little time. I know he got it in his encyclopedia some kind of where, but
well, the war games. And let me just get one more thing out. The war games that they do, like you can call it war games all you want to, but it doesn't have the feel of.
It does.
War games.
I was having that. And I might put this in the group chat. It's like when I think of the war games, I'm brought to his freaking debut. That was a freaking gory freaking mess. And it is war for a reason. I'm sorry. I just for the life of me in a steel cage match. If you get ran into a steel cage and whatnot, and you're not bleeding, I don't know. I can't wrap my head around that for some reason. It's like no, you know.
2021 was supposedly the last Survivor Series style match between
When was it?
Team Raw and Team SmackDown. 2021 apparently.
Okay, so 2 years ago.
They could have at least threw one of those in on the card.
So that something like that. It would definitely cover like the getting folks on the show, have something for them in addition to if they want to do the freaking the war games match, you know. So but I don't know. Yeah,
I mean, the whole point of war games is for the heels to get theirs. And I didn't really feel like they did because they were right back out there the next night on their feet, like everything was normal. It's kind of like it's not supposed to be like that. The heels are supposed to take the beating of a lifetime in the war games.
No,
and it didn't feel like that.
Yeah, like it was great. It was a great Randy return. Randy came in and did the high spots when he came in, and they went home. Literally, that's literally what happened. It's like
there was no, like you said, it wasn't gory. It was just like, Randy's gonna get all his stuff in. Which I mean, come on. Of course, you wanted to see him get his stuff in, but at the same time, great.
But
guy took a couple bumps and we're going home. Yeah.
Well, could it be because times have changed?
Well, but here's the thing. We're actually like to embrace like this is war games and having the advantage and stuff like that and whatnot. I'm just not feeling this incarnation of it. I'm just not. It's like they're trying to drag you in with the nostalgia of it, whatnot. But this war game is very watered down. It is.
Yeah. If you're going to call it war games, it would imply that you want the fans of the old days to watch, and then you're not giving them war games. Really, you're giving them a cage match with similar rules, but not the real payoff, not the real heat there. There just wasn't enough heat in the match too. That's big part of it. Is like, okay, we just lined up all the baby faces against the Judgment Day. Where's the heat?
Yeah, you got on the babyface team. You have some semi inner turmoil within that team itself, going against that Judgment Day unit that's who's been prominent all your brands for pretty much.
Except Orton had no heat at all with the Judgment.
None.
It was just like, oh, he's on our team, he's back, and it's like that's awesome.
Yeah.
Why? Because I had more reason to see him lay out Jey Uso and Sami Zayn or something.
Right. Yeah. It's well, because you say, okay, he's on the team. So what? Give me the so what? Make me understand as to why we're doing this. So I don't know.
Got to get the heat back in, and if you want to have a real war games,
there you go.
Is that exactly? But don't get me wrong. I'm glad he's back. He's looking phenomenal. So we'll look and see what comes next there, JD.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, one of the next stories and trust me, everybody at home, we're getting to Punk. I promise. Next story was a quote that made the news recently from Taskmaster Sullivan. Shared his opinion on the Tuesday with the Taskmaster. He said, absolutely, Sullivan said when asked if there are too many titles in wrestling today. That's why I love that Roman has the belt. It means that he is the guy. They were passing that thing around. No disrespect to anybody, but a 16-time world champion, too many belts in wrestling. Now, as belt collectors, we love the belts. We want belts.
Sure.
We want those belts.
Mm-hmm.
But as a wrestling fan, and in terms of how it works into storylines and the amount of storylines you have to sort of write and the all of that, is it just too much? Do we have too much going on?
I think they can do. They can truly do whatnot, but make it make somewhat kind of sense. You know what I'm saying? Make it somewhat like for instance, they've been going on and on. They're going on about the women's tag team title being jinxed and whatnot. If you have a legitimate tag team, to freaking build up that freaking division, it makes freaking sense. I know, like one of my pet peeves is makeshift tag teams, winning tag team titles over established tag teams. That irks the hell out of me. If done correctly and a division can be built, whatnot, sure, by all means. Not just say, oh, here's a title, you know.
I look at it like this here, though. I get what you're saying, Cedric, but also look at it like this. It's like you working your way up to from the bottom to the top. You know, a lot of people. I mean, now I can understand doing away with like the hardcore and the 24/7 title. Yeah, we could do away with those, but the other ones, I think those are good stepping stones, in my personal opinion.
Okay, all right, but here's all right. So you may hate where I'm going with this, but I'm gonna do it because you brought it up. You said as a stepping stone. Do you feel that a person has to have a title to work their way up?
No, they don't have to have it. No,
okay.
But it could be nice, but no, they don't have to.
Okay, all right.
Because Brock Lesnar didn't until he finally won the main title.
Well, but thing with Brock Lesnar, he less than like 4. I want to say 4 or 5 months into it. They put the strap on him, so that wasn't really a freaking like really like build up. They strapped the rocket to him, and he was freaking champion within six months of his main roster debut. Can't really use that as an example, but yeah.
Because then also too, then you could say, well, the other side of the coin, Kurt Angle. You know, he was European and Intercontinental Championship champion at the same time.
Yeah.
I think about it. Yeah.
Again, within 6 months, they did that. If I'm not mistaken, because
I think it was
because he debuted at Survivor Series, WrestleMania. So yeah.
Let me ask y'all a question. Who's the champion? Who is the top male star in WWE?
Roman Reigns.
That don't even need to be said.
Jason, I mean, do you agree?
For me, Gunther.
Well, I mean, who's the top star? Who's the top guy in the whole company?
Top star in the company. Top star in the company is
in WWE.
Stop fighting, JD. You know that's the answer. Stop fighting.
Like he's the biggest draw they have.
Roman,
as far as not counting part timers, but
I mean he's the focus point of the company,
right? His title comes off completely as the most prestigious,
for sure. Yeah.
So here's the question:
he's been positioned as that for sure.
What difference does it make if Seth Rollins calls himself a world champion, a U.S. champion, an Intercontinental champion, a European TV 24/7 champion? It doesn't matter. He's not. He can call himself a world champion. He's not the champion. He's number 2, and that's my next thing. I agree completely with Kevin Sullivan because look what you have a situation now. You got a world champion in name that's going on, you know, the live events and everything and defending a championship. But at the end of the day, everybody knows Seth Rollins is not the top guy. Everybody knows that watches the show. So what's the point of calling him a world champion? What's the point of him not being the Intercontinental champion or the U.S. champion?
Hold on,
Enjoy
hold
it. No, put that back up.
I was just going to say that. Yep.
Put
I like that one. I like
Yeah.
that measure.
okay. All right. So with
He's still not the biggest draw and the top guy.
No, but that's not what Nestor is saying, though. He's there working. I know
Yeah.
he's not the top guy. He's not.
Yeah.
But
He's number 2.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Yes.
he's the number 2 guy to a guy who's to a part timer.
Actually, I'll actually do you one better and support what Jason said earlier. He might actually be number 3 in the men's because Gunther already beat everybody Seth faces. And Gunther
Well, and
is
I think it's too. We're talking about the difference between company focus and positioning, and fan respect and credibility. So I think it just like there's like the company with a machine like WWE where they can put so much behind somebody and they can essentially rewrite reality by how they position somebody in the company and how they market them and how they promote them and how they book them. So I think when I'm asked that question, I think somebody like Gunther is a grassroots, is building grassroots momentum, and he's earning it through performances, and he's earning it through built momentum. Now, granted, none of that's happening by accident, and I understand that the company is booking that as well.
Absolutely.
So that's not as though they're not involved in that as well, but sometimes these things are organic and they happen just kind of out of the blue, and the company sees it and they jump on it and they run with it. I think in Roman's case, all of that is manufactured and being created by the WWE, and that's the focus, and that's where they're going with. And I get that. I 100% get it. And that controversy gives him the heat. That controversy that he isn't the fans' choice and that the WWE is programming against the fans' wishes is his heat. That's where a lot of his heat is coming from. So it's a very contemporary way of booking, if you think about it, in the age of social media and in the age of there are no secrets in wrestling anymore because everything is instantaneous, sort of information. We know the day it happens sometimes now with stuff backstage, right? The dirt sheets are obsolete. So it's an interesting way to book. They're almost kind of working people through social media. They're working people through how they book and letting people know that they're choosing him and that they don't give a crap what the audience thinks. And in effect, the company is sort of giving him heat that way. So
and it's like an ultimate troll job to us traditional. Yeah. It's like they trolling the hell out of us. But
the question I always ask when I'm always posed the Roman question is how much of that heat is his, and how much of the heat is being generated by how the company's positioning him.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'll say this too about Gunther. They're kind of cutting his legs off right now. That match with The Miz was hot garbage, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
All the low blows.
Absolutely. But did you also notice in the social media interviews that he did, like Chris Van Vliet and a few other things, just leading up to that match, he was throwing Miz under the bus and saying that he didn't respect his work in the ring and he didn't respect his wrestling. So that was kind of being planted anyways. Like it was almost like the WWE machine was going, this is going to suck. Let's get ahead of this.
Yeah, and it did. And the blame falls to me squarely on The Miz. He can't wrestle. Like it got exposed. Like he can't, if he's allowed to do his match, if he's allowed to do what he wants, sure. That was not good. They didn't make Gunther look good either. To get kicked in the balls over and over because that's the only way The Miz can hurt him or whatever. It's like, get out of here with that nonsense.
Dear gosh.
Thank you.
He needs quality opponents.
All right. I think we beat the Roman thing to death. Let's move on to the next little bit of news that came up is that the NWA announced its second territory. Joe, you want to speak on this a little bit more?
I don't know any more about it than anybody else does.
No, don't know any more about it than anybody else.
Yes. Second NWA territory, Joe Cazana Promotions out of Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. So they're going to be the second territory. They're looking to develop talent for the NWA. The other ones I want to say is in Cleveland. I want to say
it's EC3's Exodus Pro.
Exactly. So two promotion. Their titles is going to be NWA branded, kind of a throwback to the territory days and whatnot. So I'm curious how many of these that they're going to do. So I'm curious to see how they integrate the talent from those promotions that are particularly to that promotion and bringing them into the NWA mainstream fold. I'm curious to see how that dynamic works.
It's been interesting because I've been hearing like in the forums and on a lot of the chats, people are like, the NWA is coming back, the territories are back, et cetera, et cetera.
It's the 2023 version of it. And I think the mindset folks should have for it was like let's see what this gonna freaking look like, because it's
really more of a branding move than it really is sort of establishing any kind of territory, really, aren't we? We're just talking about an affiliation, a loose affiliation or branding affiliation between various independent companies. And it would give them access to some NWA wrestlers, I imagine, and perhaps create some kind of working relationship with the NWA and give them essentially access to very specific.
Well, they already have the talent. That's why the relationship's being made. Because Joe Kazana, of course, his son AJ, well, both of his sons, the Country Gentleman. I can't remember what. Now, the Country Gentleman has changed. Just now, the Kazana brothers. As the tag team, and they're out of there. Thurbilly Silas is out of that group. They're out of Knoxville, so that's one of NWA's areas. They tape in, they run pay-per-views in, so it's solid to use Joe Kazana as the promoter for that area and stuff. I'll go ahead and make a prediction. I wouldn't doubt it if we see Ohio Valley Wrestling join the NWA.
Well, yeah, that seems like an obvious.
That would be huge because they're already doing business. Ohio Valley is doing their weekly thing and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
EC3, a bunch of their talents there too. Like EC3 is the national champion there now.
And I think when you've got a company like AEW that draws so heavily from the independent market and has such a big checkbook, I think it starts to make sense that some of the other companies start trying to lock down some of these promotions and try to get exclusive contracts or exclusive access to some of their because that's essentially their in a strange way, that's their developmental. That's their sort of no overhead developmental sort of access. So because someone like AEW could come in and scoop up the majority of that talent if they so wished with their pocketbooks. And of course WWE has its own center, and Impact is taking a lot of talent off the Canadian independent scene. So so interesting. And then, of course, the topic that everybody wants us to sort of get to, of course, is the return of CM Punk. Just spoilers. This is what you're going to see him doing for the next year, probably.
That's all he has to do, apparently.
Sitting on his ass.
Okay. All right. So we got a little bit of feedback from our panel. If you've been watching us on YouTube on our shorts, Man Up gave his opinion. Joey gave his. We'll start with Man Up. You don't think this is a good idea?
No, I do not.
Okay, please explain.
And the reason why, I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet because I'm going to let Joey give his. I'm going to say because of his history. Whether you like it or not like, whether you cool with it or not, agree, whatever. Got tongue tied, sorry.
Okay.
Whether you agree with it or not, you cannot have a history like this and think that it's okay to come to a mainstream company and think that everything's going to be okay. Yes, he's going to draw money. Yes, he's going to be a focal point to try to keep the wheels on that bus rolling. But given his history, he's going to run over a nail and catch a flat tire.
Joey?
I'm confused about what his history is.
Okay. I mentioned this before when we talked about him when he was at AEW. Is it Florida Championship Wrestling before it became NXT, whatever. He had issues there. He had issues in, was it?
What did he have issues in developmental? He was at OVW. What did he?
Yeah, OVW.
I'm confused.
Sorry, OVW.
I'm confused.
Sorry.
What kind of? I never heard that he had issues at OVW or Ring of Honor or TNA before or any of that stuff.
Okay, that people have came out and said that they didn't like him for whatever their reasons may be.
Yeah.
Nothing to get into, all of that. But at the same time, you cannot constantly have issues everywhere you go and think that you're not the problem. You just can't do that. If I told y'all right now in my lifetime I had 20 jobs and got fired from all 20, you're gonna think that Man Up is the problem.
Okay.
You're not gonna think all those 20 jobs are the problem. You're gonna say Man Up is the problem.
Okay.
What is
am I the drama? Maybe I'm the drama. Am I the drama?
JD, you know what? Damn it.
So that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay,
go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna come to Joy. If I'm WWE, and trust me, I'm not WWE. I'm not the legal department. I don't have no things in regards to the contracts or any of that stuff. But if I'm WWE, and I know you, if you have such a personality and whatnot, I'm sure that there is some kind of freaking language and whatnot that's going to protect them from whatever necessary prevent those type of freaking outbursts or behavior or whatnot. And in the grand scheme of things, being in regards to merchandising, cult following, whatever you want to freaking call it. I could put in regards to dollars and cents, it's a freaking no-brainer, Joey.
Yeah.
All right. I think the issue here is there's a lot of misinformation, a lot of things based on rumor and innuendo. What I will say this is, for as many examples as you just brought up of, people have said negative things about him, a lot of people say positive things about him. Maven did a video where he talked very highly of CM Punk when he was doing his tryouts and getting hired.
Yes.
Wes Adams, our two-time guest and guy that was up there, got along with him great, spoke really highly of him. A lot of people speak really highly of him, and he has a lot of friends in the industry.
Yeah. I want to chime in. I read I saw an interview that Mickey James did. She said it on Busted Open. You're like, Punk gets a lot of heat because he's not a yes man. He's gonna see those. If he sees something wrong, he's gonna freaking tell you, and that rubs a lot of folks the wrong way, especially in this generation.
Right, and here's the thing: everything that I've seen him do recently, from what I can tell, seems to fit in with what the professional wrestling business always has been. Mm-hmm. If him being the top draw in the company wants to speak up and say to somebody who's lower, mid card, and say, hey, I don't think you should do this way. It's going to take away from stuff we're doing. It's going to hurt the product overall. And they don't listen, and they talk shit about him, and they do things like this. Or if you got a guy like Adam Page going out there shooting from the hip and has no business doing it because he's never drawn a dime either. You got all these guys running their damn mouths against him, and he's the draw. He's the guy that's a proven draw, a moneymaker, a top performer, and you're running your damn mouth against him. I'm going to have issues, and if I'm that guy, I'm going to have issues with that too. So I see no issue personally with anything he's done. And the fact that, so again, it's all rumored innuendo. It's like the news. If you only listen to one side, you're just going to hear bad things, but there's a lot of good things out there too. A lot of people putting him over verbally. You had FTR standing up and going, no, you guys have it wrong about him in the backstage. And a lot of talent has, since he left the company. Even Jade Cargill has come out and says, no, you're wrong about Punk. Like you're wrong about him. Like he's not some trouble shit stirrer that runs around the locker room, just stirring stuff up.
I want to say just for context, recently in WSI, Tully Blanchard was interviewed, and he spent a fair bit of time in AEW along with Arn Anderson, who recently left the company.
Mhm.
Tully went on record and said that not one single one single young wrestler in the time he was there ever came up to him and asked him how they could do their job better. Not one. Not one person approached him, and he confirmed not one single person approached Arn Anderson. Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson are backstage in your wrestling company and are available to help you improve your psychology and improve your match building skills.
Wasted.
And not one single person
Wasted.
approach them and ask them for advice or help. So of course somebody like Punk, who isn't waiting to be asked to whether or not your match was good or how you should do this or how you should do that, he is going to come in and he's just going to tell you. And the reality is a lot of these guys backstage in that environment didn't want the feedback, didn't want the input, and didn't want to hear what he had to say. And I've said it on the show before, and I'll say it again. Punk is a man out of time. Punk, if it was 1960, 1970, even early 1980s, he'd be fitting in right. He'd be one of the boys, and everybody think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. In 2023, with the whole woke thing, where everybody gets a gold star for participation and everybody's feelings get hurt, he doesn't fit in some of these environments. Here's a newsflash: WWE isn't that environment. It just isn't. This is a corporate money making. The buck stops here. There's one person in charge, and that person signs the contracts, and that person tells everybody what they're going to do and not going to do. And in that environment, Punk's going to be fine. He's not going to be running roughshod over people backstage. And the reality is he's not going to have to sit there by the monitor and criticize them and tell them how to do their job, because there's a dozen other people back there that have already been hired to do that job. So it has a lot to do with the organization of the company. The other thing people have to consider too is Punk has never been a great athlete. No newsflash, he's never been a great athlete. He's always been really good at putting everything together, and he's always been charismatic, and he's always been a draw. But he's never been a Bryan Danielson. He's never been a Okada. He's never been even a Kenny Omega. He's not that kind of wrestler. Never has been. And he's older now, so he's never going to be again. Mm-hmm. The WWE will know how to use him. You drop him in the middle of a federation that puts athleticism over psychology and over storytelling and over ring technique, and of course he flounders. I've got a whole reel of stuff that I could pull up right now of him missing moves and falling off. I saw that. And dropping on his head and doing all kinds of rookie stuff, like stuff that somebody as seasoned as he is shouldn't do. But that has a lot to do with the environment he's in and the type of matches they were booking him in and who they were putting him up against. He's trying to get stuff in against people that are doing stuff that your average person can't do. These are really highly capable athletes that don't know a damn thing about ring psychology. And that's not a good environment for him. He's never going to have a great match in that environment. WWE will know how to use him.
The main thing is too, let's go back, and you want to talk about him having issues. Why did he leave? What do you think? The things he said that he was frustrated with in WWE, I can understand. Imagine being WWE champion for over a year and then The Rock coming back and you're just like, here. It makes you feel like everything you've been working for and doing meant absolutely nothing. Yeah. And that's a very good point, because it did. It made it feel like he was just a guy holding the belt, waiting so they could have the John Cena Rock
1 year reign. A 1 year reign.
It meant nothing.
It meant
nothing.
Can I play something really quick for context? So here you go, because someone was saying it's just ring rust.
CM Punk thinking book shot. Punk shot. Goes. Punk collapses. There it is.
So right there, ladies and gentlemen.
He loves moving up here.
Here they go.
Slipped off the top rope. Penta rolled through, and I think that was the damage done.
Adversaries. Wait, well, there's a tag. That will change the complexion. Business just picked up.
Oh, boy. Slipped on the top rope.
Days ago. Out of world championship title matches unscathed.
Set upset.
Austin was looking for the famouser, but Punk picks up.
Here's once you get if you're a professional wrestler, you don't do anything that you don't do anything in the ring in front of a camera that you just don't.
So I'm not arguing that his ankle was or wasn't hurt, Max. I'm not arguing it. You just don't do that spot.
If your ankle is hurt, you're not doing stuff like that.
You don't get up on the top. You don't get up on the top and try to hurt and Karana somebody off the top rope.
And then also too, one of those he tried to do a kick to the back of the head and he missed, and the guy that he was trying to kick tried to sell it.
Yeah.
And so okay, this is the thing. If you don't have that momentum no more, if you don't have that movement, just don't do it.
All I'm saying is in that kind of environment where you're trying to keep up with that move, those move sets and that kind of stuff, that's never going to be his place right now. Is he's still one of the best, like they use him the right way in the WWE on the mic, the way he can generate heat, the stuff he can do, he's going to make them money, and he's going to make money, and he's going to be over, and he's going to be
Saudi
fantastic.
money.
Yeah, he's going to make great Saudi money. So I'm saying this, like I've been a Punk fan in the past. I'll be a Punk fan in the future, but I also can look at him and see what he is right now, and he's not Punk in his early ECW days. He's definitely not Punk in his Ring of Honor days. It's a different athlete, and he's a different wrestler right now. WWE is a better environment for him.
Let me say this here. I want to go on record to say I am a huge CM Punk fan. Don't get me wrong. It's just that I just don't think this is a good idea.
Yeah. Hey, I'll come talk to you later when in about a couple weeks or whatnot, when they say the CM Punk has become the biggest seller on WWE's shop. They did that for a freaking reason. The dude is a freaking
yeah. I heard that his shirts and sweaters and whatever sold out already.
Yeah, he's a freaking needle mover.
Here we are a week plus talking about it, and it's been all anybody's been talking about on the belt and the wrestling groups for the last week and a half.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
And imagine you look at they're teasing obviously the match with Seth Rollins being one of his first feuds. That's a guy that can carry Punk through it too.
Yeah, and Max, welcome to the show, buddy. We started going in on CM Punk right away, and I didn't even say hello, so welcome. Scott, ring rust is real, and an unorthodox match is too many high spots working with guys that don't want advice or respect with each other, with a locker room that's toxic. When he was an 80, tone down the movesets and save the body, be smart, not a high spot mark.
Well, he also did his body he needs to know he's in his mid 40s and his ankles and stuff are not as let's be honest, they're not as elastic and lubricated as they were 10 years ago.
Hell no. Man. No, and I'm not when I say that stuff, I'm not criticizing him. I'm just saying some things are good fits and some things aren't good fits. And I don't think besides the Jungle Boy stupidity and all the other stuff that happened, it just was never going to be a good fit for him. Yeah. So it just wasn't. So that doesn't mean he's deficient in any way, shape, or form. It's just, he's a square peg and that's a round hole. That's it.
Yeah.
If I had been at AEW and he was working on top, I'd shut my mouth and collect my pay.
Hello.
And say thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for the gate.
Yeah. Thank you for the house.
Yeah.
What can I do different? What can I do to help?
I would have started that. Well, actually, I would have started that 6 months before that with Tully and Arn, but that's beside the point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to agree with what Ben just said right there. I got to agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got to agree.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Awesome. All right, man.
It's time to transition. It's time to talk a little bit of today in wrestling history.
Woohoo!
All right, so on this day in wrestling history, December 6th. Oh, did you have something here? Let's see.
No. Go. We'll get you on the tail end.
We'll get them in just a sec. So one of the notable matches that took place in 1999 on a WCW Nitro, we had Jushin Thunder Liger defeated Psychosis for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship on WCW. To date, this was the last time that title changed hands in U.S. soil until 2007. So between 1999 and 2007, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship never changed hands unless other than on Japanese soil. So that was a pretty memorable WCW moment. 2004.
That's a nice little fun fact.
Go for it.
That's a nice little fun. I did not. I never really thought about that. Like, because I'm sitting here thinking the IWGP heavyweight title never changed hands on U.S. soil either, has it?
Not yet.
Okay, good stuff. Okay,
so then we had 2004.
Wait. Yeah, it has now. The IWGP heavyweight title changed hands now.
Yeah.
When Okada won it in New York from.
Okay.
Well, not the world.
It hadn't previously.
Yeah.
Not in that era.
Okay. No, not in that era.
Right.
And then we had 2004. We had Lita defeating Trish Stratus for the WWE Women's Championship. Memorable only because it was the last time a women's match took the main event spot on Monday Night Raw until 2016.
Okay,
so that's quite a dry spell. 12 years before we saw a women's match take the main event again. And then this is pretty infamous. This will get a face palm from Joey. We had Hulk Hogan Celebrity Championship Wrestling. Dennis Rodman is declared the winner of Hulk Hogan Celebrity Championship Wrestling Series. He beat, wait for it, Todd Bridges in the final.
Hey,
Todd Bridges,
from Different Strokes.
What you talking about, Willis?
Exactly.
I don't know who Todd Bridges is, but okay.
Although he didn't say that. That was the other guy.
I know, but yeah. I actually like the belt from Celebrity Championship Wrestling.
So some of the memorable participants, of course, Mr. Rodman himself, Screech from Save from the Bell.
He was doing everything at that point, man.
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone's brother, Frank Stallone.
Okay.
I think we got Butterbean. I see in there. I think that's one of the Baywatch women. And Todd Bridges, of course, and I think what's that guy's name from the Partridge Family? Joey,
Danny Bonaducci.
Danny Bonaducci. That's his name, not Joey. Danny. There you go.
Look at Joey.
Hey man, reality TV shows were selling, boy. At that point, man, anything and everything was a reality TV show, man.
Yeah,
that right there was certified over like a fart in church.
It sure was,
dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm honestly trying to find episodes of that, Joey. I'm literally trying to find that. Just because.
Why isn't Brian Knobs in the picture? I know he was involved.
I want to bring
Brian Knobs was probably a trainer.
I want to bring up Ben's note here. He's absolutely right. New Japan originally didn't want to recognize the change of Luger, Liger losing it, which is absolutely true. They didn't actually recognize it until 2007. So it took place in 1999. Didn't acknowledge it till 2007. So yeah, Ben's bang on as usual. And then the final clip, just because I knew we'd be talking about Punk tonight. Sure. UFC announced they have signed this is 2014. The UFC announced they signed former WWE superstar CM Punk to a 2-fight contract. He went on to lose both fights.
Well, not one, but both. Okay,
both.
Okay.
Yeah. First one he got choked out. Second one he got knocked out essentially. Yeah, I mean he eventually tapped, but it was pretty much a standing TKO.
Huh. Interesting.
So that's that. And on this day in wrestling history, we celebrate the birthdays of Mr. Nick Bockwinkel, Mr. AWA.
Yes, sir.
And some people may recognize Dennis Stamp. He was the gentleman that Terry Funk was talking with in the documentary. Yeah. He was the gentleman that wasn't going to show up unless he was booked.
I'm not booked.
I can't do it, Terry.
I gotta have you there. It's like,
I want you there.
I want you there.
So that is Mr. Dennis Stamp. So there you go. That is today in wrestling history.
I love it. Good stuff. I love this segment. Whatnot. And onward. Is it time?
Onward.
Is it time?
It's time for the quiz of the week.
Let's do this.
All right, let's do it. All right, so we've been running a theme in Champions Belt Club. I've been doing this sort of subtly for the last couple of weeks. 2 weeks ago, all of the quizzes were featuring tag teams that had won the NWA World Tag Team Championship. Last week, I was featuring wrestlers on all of the quizzes who had won the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship. And this week, I'm featuring wrestlers who have won a title that we'll be showing very soon this evening as Belt of the Month. This particular wrestler happened to be the gentleman who last won that version of the title. So I'm curious if anybody at home in the chat wants to write who they think this wrestler is based on these championships.
I know it. Oh, we got one answer.
Ben coming in like lightning. There you go. You got it. It is, of course, Mr. If I can friggin' find the button to get these. There we go. There we go. Got it. Too many things open. Mr. Steve Austin, who was known as the NWA World Tag Team Championship, WCW World Tag Team Championship, United States Heavyweight Championship, WCW World Television, $1 Million Championship, of course, WWF Tag Team, Intercontinental, and WWF Championship. And we have been featuring one of his belts.
Midnight Championship gave it away. Yep, absolutely. It must have been like on the tail end when they had the unified WCW, that unified tag team title bit.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Love it. Good stuff.
All right. Nice job. Thank you. Way to go. And then finally, last but not least, man up. It's that hour when it's time to feature the belt we were talking about. You ready to make your presentation?
Yeah, I have my belt right here. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Can I just say that it should be everybody's life goals to be as jacked as that guy in that graphic.
I think that's the best. I think that's the best Mr. Biden's ever looked.
Oh my gosh, dude!
So just in case y'all didn't know, that's Joe Biden.
Looks like my favorite bodybuilder, Michael Tren.
Oh, love it! Belt of the month. I love it.
All right, what do you got for us, man up?
Well, speaking of Stone Cold Steve Austin, he was the last person to hold this particular belt. This belt here, excuse me, let me hold it. This thing's kind of heavy too. This belt was held by a lot of greats such as Ric Flair, Stone Cold, Bret Hart, Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan.
There's the graphic.
I can't remember them all. God,
look at the graphic. That's why we got JD. JD's the man.
This is the whole lineage.
Yeah, you got Hulk Hogan, you got Undertaker, Sergeant Slaughter.
Everybody, look at the screen. Look at the screen, everybody.
Yeah. I can't remember everybody off the top of my head.
Sid Vicious.
Dang right, Sid Vicious.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The man who rules the world, damn it.
Yeah. And even Cedric's favorite to hold this title right here as well. So
yes, the cream of the
Bob Backlund.
Daddy Cool Diesel.
If I'm not mistaken,
because I'm too sweet to be sour. I'm the Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah.
I think this belt debuted in 1988, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 88.
And ended in 1998. So this belt has been through a lot. It was all gold like mine. It was dual plated. When Yokozuna had it, one of the wings was broken off. This belt has been it's a classic. I put it like that. It's a classic.
And who made your belt, man up?
The one and only Mr. Jagu made my belt right here.
Okay.
Mr. Jagu.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
What?
Hey.
What?
Jagu John made that belt nice.
Yes. 3.5 millimeter. I think I'm trying to remember what he said. Because I can't remember. He made so many belts for me. I can't remember them all.
Generic wants Ted DiBiase official.
That's not gonna be.
You know what I want to see Ted DiBiase made official?
No, Joey.
No,
Joey. Don't do it, Joey.
No.
Oh, love it. Good stuff.
Man, all right, guys. That covers everything we had ready for tonight. Is there anything you guys want to chat about before we wrap this up tonight?
There was a comment back in there I saw in the comments. I want to save it for give me a second. I'm scrolling through. I want to say Nesha said it. Oh, can't freaking find it.
I just saw one I missed too. Sorry, Generic.
Yeah.
Generic corrected us.
Okay.
IWGP belt has been defended on US soil. Muta beat Orndorff back in '93 on the WCW.
I think we were talking about title changes. I'm still trying to find it.
Okay.
I can't find it. I can't find it. I apologize.
That's all good.
If there's anything else in the world of wrestling, what you guys want to talk about? We got 3 minutes to the top of the hour in the show. Y'all could definitely bring it up. But the world was definitely a buzz, whatnot. Especially it's like you expected it, but you didn't, and it's like. Has hell truly frozen over? And he's
well, man, I gotta say too, I remember a time period recently, like just even before AEW came back, before Impact kind of grew into its own. Everybody, I mean, there was a time when WWE was it, and we were bemoaning the fact that we didn't have any more of those Monday Night War moments. We didn't have any more of those moments of surprises anymore. And, Ed showing up on AEW TV, Randy Orton coming back, CM Punk, it's starting to feel a little bit like that time period again. It's kind of an exciting time to be a wrestling fan. I see that Generic brought up the Tammy Lynch situation.
The crush of adolescent boys in the 1990s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
I'll throw one other thing out there for those who didn't know. Before Will Ospreay officially starts with AEW full time,
I saw that, Joey.
He's going to be doing some tapings with TNA after their rebrand starts after Hard to Kill.
Good. Yeah,
he'll be having some more matches with TNA coming up in January before he fully commits to AEW. So
and I wouldn't be surprised if you saw him occasionally there again, even after he commits to AEW, because they've had a working relationship, Impact and AEW all along. So.
Kota Ibushi appearing in Pro Wrestling Noah. That's exciting.
Yep.
He'll be having a match coming up there. We might get to see more if you follow Pro Wrestling Noah. Kota Ibushi may be having some more matches there. That's going to be a good relationship.
In regards to the Sonny situation, it's tragic and that it happened, and I'm sorry for the people involved and the families who have lost loved ones. I think when somebody's got the demons that she has, I think that kind of environment's the only way she's going to get the help she needs and get better. So I think that it's unfortunate, but it's necessary. So
yeah, absolutely. With that being said, we've made it to the end of the show, guys. Appreciate that. A good way to tie up this episode, JD, is in regards to what we're doing next week. Next week we're doing top 10 baby faces. So a good throwback to what we're known for is our top 10s. We're doing baby faces next week, so make sure you guys get your list ready for next week. We're doing a show on the 20th. This program, we're doing a show on the 20th. But on the show on the 27th, we're gonna give y'all that week off. Then we're gonna come back at the beginning of the year with our monthly melee, guys. We appreciate everybody for tuning in as always here at Bells and Bells. Man up, what we do we like to do for us?
Well, if you like that belt I just held up, you know you gotta subscribe to us here on YouTube so you can see more of the belt, because we do a whole bunch of things when it comes to wrestling. We do belt unboxing, belt reviews. We go to live events. We do anything related to wrestling. That's why we call Bells and Belts and everything in between. Joey, what else can they do?
Immediately blow up everybody in your friends list. Immediately blow up everybody in your contacts on your phone and invite them to join our Facebook group, Bells and Belts. Do it. Do it now.
Do it. Do it.
And Jason, what else can they do?
Man, they can come and visit us and hang out and even maybe join up if they'd like at Champions Belt Club. Logo to the screen there, Champions Belt Club. We do daily quizzes. We do polls. We started adding more of those in every day. We do wrestling current news. We do historical stuff. And we're just about to start a new Friday fantasy poll where we are going to cover the top 12, according to your votes, greatest World Heavyweight Impact TNA champions of all time. We're going to run them in a tournament. And we're going to see who comes out on top as the man.
I love it. Good stuff. A lot of good stuff going on as we get ready to wind up 2023. We thank you for that comment, Ben, and we thank you guys for watching. And we invite you all to join us here next week where we talk about our top 10 baby faces. Guys, let's do this again next week. Yes,
let's do it.
Awesome. All right, till next week, guys. We will see you all here next time here on Bells and Belts.